Simply put, no. It's genuinely impossible. I mean, you can't even get through level 8 without using her. So what now, you may be asking? If we can't beat the game without using her, then what's the point? While it is depressing, we have to change our goal to something more realistic. How to beat Hi-Fi Rush while using Korsica as little as possible. Starting from level 8, where Korsica is unlocked, we listen to Mimosa talk about her period blood-infested bathwater, but then realize we already are forced to use Korsica. Then we move on, enter the backrooms, bomb a city, and here we are at our first fight where the game suggests we use our little airbending friend. She tries to coerce us into using her, but we are a Sigma male who simps for no woman of any type, unless her name is Aka, so even during fights we can't use her. Until attempting this, I did not think exiling Korsica would be as difficult as it was. I have learned a lesson on this day. Now you might think I'm cutting out all the fights because I cheated and used Korsica, but take my word for it. Trust me, I would never lie, as a YouTuber. And because of that, you should subscribe. Now that I did our daily video shill, we come across a generator that holds the IP addresses of Overwatch players. We activate it so that they all get DDoSed and can no longer pay off Blizzard's lawsuits for them. Then we do a bit more platforming and come across an electrical pool. In a museum. 2 times in a row. And this already puts us up to 4 uses. And we aren't even halfway through the first level we unlock her in. And here comes number 5 with another doorway set on fire for who even knows at this point. But let's not forget the 3rd electrical pool. Forgive me for that. I'm usually far more composed. I'm just a little bit absolutely livid. But, fortunately for us, that's the last time we have to use her in this level. And now here's the Mimosa boss fight. And I'm going to be completely honest, this fight even without Korsica is very easy. And because we all know that no one cares about Mimosa, we're skipping. Moving into level 10, we watch as Cinnamon prepares the second coming of 9/11. We bust through and enter the cafeteria for what might be the best high-action fight sequence in any video game ever made, but I can't play the song because it's copyrighted. After we do our Crouching Tiger gaming, unfortunately we are once again forced to use Korsica in the vents. Funny imposter sus moment. Surprisingly enough, that's the only time you need to use Korsica until the big dog man. There are 2 points in this fight where the game wants you to use Korsica, and that's in phases 2 and 3. However, in phase 2 there is a way to get past using Korsica, and the secret to that is by just killing him faster. Not even a joke. The best way to actually kill him fast enough before he can use his wind move on you is just by using special moves and just running him down. Once you do that, you're clear. But unfortunately, it's impossible to avoid the rhythm minigame sequence in phase 3, forcing us to use Korsica again. On to more important matters. In stage 11, we don't even need to use Korsica once, which is very fortunate. And I'm not counting the giant arm blasting sequence, mainly because that's a group attack and not an individual character's action. And then we head into the final level of the game, the Kale boss fight. Here in this level, we only need to use Korsica once. Surprisingly, yes, once. Now if you have played the game before, you might be thinking, but what about phase 2 where he calls the robot arms? There's a flamethrower one that you need to use Korsica on. No, quiet. Phase 2 is entirely reliant on how patient you can be. Because little known secret, he attacks randomly between all of his arms. You might get multiple attacks from the same arm if you don't damage it in time. However, if you can break the macaron and peppermint arms, all you have to do is just attack him regularly and then you can kill that second phase. And after you take down phase 2, assuming you aren't a literal toddler, phase 3 should be easy. And then we beat Kale, thinking that we're safe, but here's where the problem comes in. Remember that one time where I had to talk about using Korsica once earlier into this fight? Yeah, it's right here at the end. Going by the same logic of the Roquefort fight, we have to use her in an unavoidable rhythm sequence against Kale. Just like Roquefort, you can't do anything about it. I mean, you can miss the inputs, but that doesn't change anything, you still use the character. But I can't allow myself to miss the inputs, otherwise my pride would be entirely shot. But this last rhythm sequence does put us at our final use of Korsica in the entire game, given we only had to use it for the last third of the game. So now that we've reached the end, what is the minimum number of times that we have to use Korsica to beat the game? The answer is 9 times, which is honestly less than I expected, by a lot. But I guess you had to get her used somehow being forced into the last 4 levels of the game. And now that we've reached the end, you should consider subscribing. I mean, you made it this far, why not commit? I also have some more video ideas on the way for this game and other games, so hey, stick around, make us both look cool.